My hello and sincere regards to all of you. And first of all, thank you so much for giving such a wonderful opportunity to speak. And I would like to start from my childhood days. Yes, can you take it?
So you can continue with that.
Okay. I would like to start from my childhood days. Actually, I remember my days when I was young. During that time, I actually did not even have 3 rupees to travel by bus. I also remember my days when I was studying in government school and there were not much amenities, and I was a backbencher in class. Even if anybody would speak English front of me, I would run 10 miles away from them. I even remember my days when we were from a very poor family background. I would wear torn clothes, short pants, and going barefoot on the railway tracks for miles and miles in the heart-wrenching hot weather. I also remember my days when we had a very struggling time in life. We did not even used to have electricity at our house. That bad days I witnessed. But yes, I had courage, I was passionate, I had faith in Lord Almighty, I always respected my parents, and I had good courage to do for the nation. And to do so, I did very hard work in my life, worked selflessly, tirelessly, and fearlessly. As I told you that I did not even used to have small money to travel by bus, but when I did hard work, I achieved all my best of the best comfort, such as making and saving couple of lakh rupees every day. As I told you, I would wear torn clothes and walk on the railway tracks, but after doing hard work, when I achieved my comfort zone, I traveled to almost 47 countries around the world. I even remember when anybody would speak English in front of me, as I told you, I would run away, but I did hard work. I worked with US forces in the war zone in Iraq and Afghanistan. I even witnessed 3 civil wars, one in Africa in Liberia, also in East Timor, which is a small island near New Zealand, and also in Lebanon in Beirut. I achieve all best of the best comforts traveling by first class or business class airlines to African nations, to European countries, even to Canada and America. But actually this is not what I wanted to achieve in my life. There was something where God was testing me every second. Actually, I would plead God in my heart, saying that God, you're pouring with all the best of the best comforts, but what will happen to the people, those even do not have food to eat once in a week? Around us, there are people, those are dying with discomforts. The hospitals are flooded with patients. Oxygen is not there to breathe, or the climate changes are going on, the air pollution problem, the noise pollution problem, traffic hazards, environment, the garbage everywhere, stinking garbage, it will always bug me. I would cry and plead to God Almighty that God, please snatch everything, take off all best of the best comfort which you are giving me. I don't need that. Allow me to serve you. Because I knew once when I will go back to Lord Almighty, God is not going to ask us how much money have we saved. God is definitely going to ask us what did we do for the people those were dying with discomfort. So when these things came in my mind, I could not concentrate on my work. I wanted to pay back to the society. I knew such service to help mankind will give and they will balance your life. And this, my answer came when in 2007 I was going somewhere in Delhi and I saw a poor child and a street dog eating together from the stinking garbage yard. That was a turning point in my life, and within fraction of second I donated my life for the service of less privileged people. And to do so, I started going midnight on the streets, and I was stunned and shocked to witness there are not only poor people on the street, Once you see somebody who has big long hairs or having big nails, you may think they must be poor or they're beggars, this is their business, let them beg. Who are we to help them? They're on their profession. But it is not correct. When I witnessed them, I quote you one example. Once I was roaming midnight looking for such abandoned and disabled people. I found a sir, he did not have bath for 2 years. When I started speaking, I found that he is a retired judge. And after retirement, his children took all his money and they kicked him out on the street. And he was roaming with miserable conditions. I brought him to my Gurukul, gave him food, medicine, and further I discovered that this sir had studied from London School of Economics. Similarly, I rescued another sir. He was a 1976 batch IAS officer. The same thing happened with him. His children took all his money and threw him out on the street. And I got more stunned when I found army men roaming on road. I found intellectuals, professors, NRIs, even billionaires. Those have no amenities, and sometimes you see them roaming naked on street, or sometimes you see them eating from the stinking garbage yard. So I found myself in a different world. And by the blessings of Lord Almighty, when I started my journey to save all these abandoned and disabled people, so far in span of 10 years, I managed to rescue thousands of them from the roads. Thousands have been united back with their families all over India. Hundreds of them living permanently with me in my Gurukul. And out of 400 people, those are living at this time with me, 100 are bedridden. They have not even stood up from the floor for one single second. We feed them free of charge. We give them a life to live with dignity. And you will be also stunned to witness that thousands have even died in my arms so far. Even police have gained a lot of faith in my seva. They offer me unclaimed and unidentified dead bodies. Those are found floating in Yamuna river, or sometimes half eaten by animals, or sometimes they die unclaimed in hospitals, or they've been chopped out by train and nobody is there to claim them. So I offer them a dignified ending, give them kafan ka kapda, havan samagri, dan dakshina to Panditji, and further after cremation I take their ashes to Haridwar for Visarjan so that they get peace in heaven. And by the blessings of Lord Almighty, by the blessings of Lord Almighty, till date I have cremated more than 5,000 unclaimed and unidentified dead body. I work selflessly, tirelessly and fearlessly. I have also come to know that such selfless seva is actually very much needed, especially in our community. If we do not perform such service, our life can never be completed. And if you perform such service, you will get a very positive energy. Your enemies will run away from you. You will have a very good sleep at night. And top of it, you will get connected with the Lord Almighty. And this selfless seva will also take you towards the moksha. And there is another government environment concern subject which I am trying to fulfill. As I told you that my activities made me travel to 47 different nations around the world. I've been to many civilized nations and I never saw honking being misused there. I witnessed if you honk, then 10 cars going ahead of you will give you sight. They think you have a patient in your car and you need to rush him to the hospital. But in our country, we blow so much pressure horns that there is no peace around. We are distracting the tourists to come back to our country. The NRI community do not like to come back here and settle down. Even the business is suffering. On top of it, the schools and children cannot study in school. The patients cannot rest in the hospital. There is so much honking around us. And I took the battle, and similarly I found that over the years I have wiped out horn please sign and blow horn sign from the back of the commercial and semi-commercial vehicles. There were around 1 lakh commercial vehicles. I have washed up the horn please sign from them. And I made a slogan, it says, "Do not honk," that can be witnessed on the back bumpers of the cars. And in one slogan, I even wrote very bitter, though my intention was not to abuse anyone, but yes, I wanted to bring this subject into debate. And I wrote, "Even kutta bhi bina wajah nahi bhokta." That was a very hit slogan. And till date, over the years, I distribute such slogans free of charge. I distribute these stickers so that the noise pollution can be controlled and we get peace of life in our community. And this is how I live, and I am very happy, and I have a fear from the God, and I worship God, stating that God has given very precious service to serve less privileged and to serve our environment. Thank you so much for paying attention.